A popular topic of discussion between Muslims, Jews, and Christians is the question of whether Muhammad, who Muslims believe is God's final messenger, is the fulfillment of Abraham's prophetic legacy. Does the Bible really say anything about Muhammad? For the average Jewish or Christian person, the knee-jerk response will most likely be an emphatic no. Now, what if we told you that Muhammad is in fact mentioned in critical prophecies that are completely overlooked? Today we shall discuss one prophecy, made by the prophet Daniel, in Daniel 2, supported by Daniel 7 and 8. Daniel 2 informs us of a dream which greatly disturbs the king Nebuchadnezzar. In fact, the king was so disturbed, he ordered his sorcerers to interpret it. When failing to, the king got so mad that he ordered for them to be executed. Daniel intervened and told the king that he could explain it for him. The dream is described as follows in Daniel 2:31-35. Your Majesty looked, and there before you stood a large statue, an enormous, dazzling statue, awesome in appearance. The head of the statue was made of pure gold, its chest and arms of silver, its belly and thighs of bronze, its legs of iron, its feet partly of iron and partly of baked clay. While you were watching, a rock was cut out, but not by human hands. It struck the statue on its feet of iron and clay and smashed them. Then the iron, the clay, the bronze, the silver, and the gold were all broken to pieces and became like chaff on a threshing floor in the summer. The wind swept them away without leaving a trace. But the rock that struck the statue became a huge mountain and filled the whole earth. Daniel tells us this dream is about 4 successive kingdoms who would rule on earth. The first kingdom, represent the head of gold, is told to be Babylon, which was in power during his day. Furthermore, in Daniel 8, Daniel goes on to tell us that the second kingdom is inferior to the first. The third is stronger than the first and the second. There's no need to speculate as to the identity of the second and third kingdom, as Daniel tells us in Daniel 8. Daniel 8 tells us about a vision which occurred sometime after the dream of Daniel 2. This vision is said to have taken place during the reign of the Babylonian king Belshazzar. This vision informs us of a powerful 2-horned ram, which will emerge on the world stage, which will only be defeated by an even more powerful goat. This goat will split into 4 smaller horns. The angel Gabriel interprets this dream that the ram with 2 horns shows a combined kingdom of Medo-Persians. This is talking about the 2 powers of the Medes and Persians who united under Cyrus the Great. Daniel saw this vision of the ram in the 3rd year of reign of Belshazzar, about 550 BC, which happens to be the very year at which the Medes and Persians aligned as one allies. According to Daniel, the Medo-Persians represents one single kingdom. What about the symbol of the goat, who will the 2-horned ram, with the goat prominent splitting into 4 smaller horns? Gabriel informs us that this represents the Greeks in Daniel 8. Historically, Alexander the Great was king of the ancient Greeks' kingdom of Macedon. He overthrew the Medo-Persians and created a vast empire, the likes which the world have never seen, stretching from Macedonia to Egypt and from Greece to part of India. He died, and his empire descended into chaos, splitting into 4 stable but weak power blocks. The Ptolemaic kingdom of Egypt, the Seleucid Empire in the east, the kingdom of Pergamon in Asia Minor, and Macedon. We can see that Alexander the Great fits Daniel's vision thus, making him the 3rd kingdom. But what is the 4th kingdom? It doesn't explicitly mention what it is, and that's why we have to turn to traditional understanding. We see that it's always been interpreted as the kingdom of Rome. The 4th kingdom is Rome. Now, according to who exactly is the 4th kingdom Rome? Well, what's better than to look at your own church fathers? Not only does ancient commentaries agree it was Rome, but also Christians' own church fathers. For instance, we have St. Hippolytus of Rome in his treatise on Christ, and Antichrist, Article 28. He mentions it to be Rome. We also have St. Cyril of Alexandria. Not only does he claim it is role, but claims it is a consensus of the Church Fathers in the catechetical lectures, Lecture 15, Article 13. And let's not forget Josephus also implied this in his Antiquities, Book 10. Now that we have identified the four kingdoms, what is the fifth kingdom? Mainly, the one who will destroy the others. Now the text makes three important claims about the fifth kingdom. 1. It will come during the reign of Rome. 2. It will come after the division of Rome. 3. Will not only surpass, but crush Rome and destroy the other kingdoms. Here's a claim that gets thrown out from time to time. The Christians claim that the fifth kingdom is Christ. When looking at the claims Daniel makes, this doesn't add up. Daniel makes a claim that the kingdom will come during Rome after it divides. The problem is, Jesus came 33 AD, while the division only comes after 395 AD. Now it also tells us the fifth kingdom will destroy the other kingdoms including Rome, while it is quite the opposite when looking at Jesus. Now, of the fifth kingdom isn't Christ, who is it? Well, it's very clear. Between the division of Rome at 395 AD and the fall of Rome 1453 AD, a fifth kingdom must arise. Now, when looking at the history which can't be refuted, it was none other than the kingdom of Islam. The kingdom of Islam rose after the division of Rome, 622 AD, and utterly destroys all the four kingdoms before. We have provided sufficient proof to anyone open-minded that the kingdom of Islam is the true kingdom of God prophesied by Daniel thousands of years ago. Insha'Allah, if this video is well received, we will proceed with another video detailing the objections, questions, and doubts regarding this prophecy and address them all. Please make sure to show your support in the comments and also ask any questions you may have regarding this. We will do our best to answer. Until then, Assalamu alaikum.